Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. Casual Bias Rugby, the South African fan sitting with Loserville. We've got the Irish fan right over here, old smug twat. Not a smug now. And then we've got Jake. Jake, can I have your permission? Right, I've already downloaded the video to put in your TikTok right here for the people to actually watch it of you just going on an absolute meltdown.
Yeah, you have my permission.
Okay, boys, listen, before we get into the rugby, welcome back. Obviously, had to get both of you guys on. Aiden can't join. He's on his way back to New Zealand. Rose is celebrating her birthday. Blissful is having a family day. So, this is actually the people that they want to see and make fun of a bit. So, Tiernan, how are you feeling after this weekend?
It was just shocking. It was the worst Ireland performance I've seen probably all year. Worse than that England game. They just forgot how to play rugby. This is a whole match in the Aviva when you have everything on your side. You're meant to go beat the All Blacks, get revenge on them, shut up that little prick Kaiwane. And then it doesn't happen. You drop the ball like it's a schoolboy match. You forget how to not how to ruck. Your discipline just falls out the window. Like, what happened? I don't understand how you can go from going winning into Africa to then losing to the All Blacks by that much at home, forgetting how to play rugby like that. It was just shocking.
Yeah. Listen, we'll talk about Ireland first, seeing that you just queued us in here, right? As bad as I think Ireland was, I also think you have to give credit to New Zealand. I thought New Zealand was really good. Yeah, a couple of errors from Ireland's side, but New Zealand, they smashed Ireland in the end, right? I think Ireland's a great team, but they weren't at the races at all. I thought after that first half, they were lucky to still be in the game, and the 10-point margin flat as Ireland. That's my opinion on it. Jake, you watched the game. Obviously, you're probably a bit more on the All Black side of things. But how did you perceive that game?
No, I was hoping Ireland would win beforehand because I got quite a lot of grief from the All Blacks fans the week before after they beat us. So I was hoping Ireland to sort of humble them, and they didn't. They got smashed. They got embarrassed. Sort of Irish, it's in their history. I don't know. It's a weird one. I honestly think that's the worst Irish performance I've seen for a good 3 years. Probably more 2 years. Probably since they last played New Zealand. That's the worst they've played in 2 years.
Yeah, but under Andy Farrell, yeah, probably. That's the thing, right? I saw a couple of social media outlets that posted, is Ireland all of a sudden going to lose to the Wallabies? Are they going to lose to Fiji and stuff? And I just think that's a bit outrageous, right? It's their first game back. They might have been a bit cold. And in the end, they just got outplayed. It is one loss. We're not going to act like Ireland's all of a sudden bullshit or whatever, right? I'm not a guy for rankings whatsoever. I don't care South Africa being number one. I don't care Ireland being number one. But the fact of the matter is that they deserve to be up there, right? They're not all of a sudden a bad team. I mean, what was your run before you lost to what was it, the All Blacks? You were on a massive winning streak as well, right?
It was home win streaks about 25. But I think Rob Carney said it didn't take that traditional high scoring, try scoring All Blacks performance to beat Ireland. They kicked their penalties, they scored one try, and that was what did the game for them. And that really just shows how rusty Ireland were and how they just weren't up to it. So it might be that they hadn't played in a couple of months. It might be that New Zealand had a lot more games. I think it was a mistake putting New Zealand first then. I don't know whose decision that is. But it was embarrassing. This all stuff that we're going to lose to Fiji now, would you ever go 8? They're just looking for clicks. It's outrageous to say that we're going to lose any of these upcoming games. But yeah, I am a bit worried. Definitely building.
Tiernan, you've been a massive fan of Frawley. The man came on and pulled out a world-class stink out. That is what he did, right? I mean, you were probably happy seeing the back of Crowley, and 5 minutes later, you probably wished him back onto the field.
Yeah, it's there. But to be honest, Frawley did have an absolute generational disaster class, and then Crowley just again he wasn't that great either. But he wasn't obviously Frawley had a very bad performance. He needs to come back from that. But Crowley again, he didn't have the flair that he normally has. He was just doing the basic, passing. There was no flair from either 10. Obviously, both of them dropped balls, both of them made mistakes. Frawley, at the end of the game, he could have done more, but at the same time, he was trying to grab kicks. He was trying to be a bit more creative and win the game. Nothing happened, of course. that's definitely an issue. I'm not going to fall back and go play Prendergast now. I think for the next...
No, you can't. You can't judge it all on the one game.
You can't judge. That's the thing. It was a bad performance from the whole team. Obviously, especially for only 20 minutes. And all right, Jake's yapping over here, but we'll keep going. Like,
I don't know. I just remember. I don't know if it was you, Tiernan, but I do remember you saying George Ford is a fraud. You know, because he had one bad 10-minute period last week, and now suddenly Kieran Frawley.
I actually didn't, but yeah.
No, some people were saying it though.
No,
well,
yeah,
I've been calling him George Fraud because he had. Don't you worry about George Fraud. He had another ultimate stinker, 2 in a row. Lovely, but we'll get to you in a second, Jake. Right, because Tiernan just had a shocker when it came to predictions for this game. Because D-Mac, who he's been rinsing, had a very good game. The guy controlled the game. Frawley, who he said he's been begging in that 10 jersey, disaster class. Calendaris was nowhere in that game for me. How good is Gibson Park? He is sensational.
He was. Wow. I would have said Caelan was one of the standout players in that game. He's one of the few ones that had a good performance. Gibson Park was good. Yeah. It's like anytime.
I mean, your standout players were Gibson Park and James Lowe, which
says everything. James Lowe was good.
The two Kiwis were your best players.
Gibson Park, Lowe, Ringrose was good.
You saying Ringrose was good because of that one tackle on Rico Ioane. That's what
that was beautiful as well. If we just talk about that, like we need to talk about Rico for a second, right? That guy, all the build-up, leads the Haka, gets bodied the entire game, and then after makes an Instagram post going, I'll put that in your book, sex, and all this. The guy's an absolute fraud. Like, what do you do? At least if you're going to talk like that after game, have performance to back it up. Don't be all the clips of you online just getting bodied. You got to do better than that if you're going to.
The only clip of him being bodied that I've seen online is the one that you posted. Other than that, I just see him doing the Haka, the Kappa Opanga. That's what I see about Rico Ioane and the class. Put that in your book. I don't know what you're seeing, Tiernan, but as I just said, I've only been seeing class things. I'm not going to lie.
Can we mention the dreadful Haka response from both the Irish team and the fans, because they all stayed silent, very boring, and then they just did a little walk in the park, like way too late. Tried to copy England and absolutely failed miserably. Embarrassing from your whole nation, Tiernan.
We tried to get the fields of Attenborough. I have a massive. You can't really discuss this because someone gets mad when you talk about IRFU tickets and stuff. But we tried to get the fields of Attenborough going, and we got shushed. Like our corner got shushed. The one little corner in the stadium making noise. It's disgrace. Tickets.
You just hear Tiernan's like voice on helium trying to get the chant going.
Listen, I like it when there's a response to the Haka, but Jake, I couldn't agree more. It looked so late. I was like,
it was so late.
They only come now.
It should not be quiet when the hack is happening. It should be like belling out fields of right. And we got shushed trying to do it. So that's its own issue. Tickets gone to the wrong people. So I can't. You're not meant to talk about that because someone gets mad, but yeah.
They showed the camera so much on James Lowe, Bundiaki, and Gibson Park. I was like, does this cameraman think that they all of a sudden going to do the Haka with them? It was ridiculous. I was like, 50% of the Haka is showing on some of these Irish guys. What the fuck? Fix up.
Irish?
Good on.
No, but I was going to say, overall for the game though, it was surprising though because Ireland they're just like crap. But it's not like it's you're just so familiar to Ireland at the start of like a tournament or like a series, just hitting the ground running like the World Cup, Six Nations, even that South Africa series. They're just like straight away bang straight into world class. They're clicking. And this time you're talking about Crowley and Frawley, but the whole attack just looked disjointed. There was no runners, no options, which was New Zealand struggled with loads last week. So it was really un-Ireland-like. But then the crowd atmosphere just sort of even took it out even more.
I don't want to mention that it was a team loss.
What?
Like you can't really put the blame on anyone for this. Like the Tens obviously drop balls and stuff, but at the same time, the team should not have put them in that situation.
Yeah, it's a team loss. It is a team loss. There's no certain players that was like standout stinkers that really cost you the game. Knock-ons all over the place. Look totally just disjointed, as Jake said. Like usually, this Ireland team, I think they've got one of the, if not the best, one of the best systems in the world. Where you look at how they play, how they attack, with their dummy runners and everything, and it just looked kind of all over the place this weekend. And the whole thing, while we spoke about them, that they might beat the All Blacks and they won't come in cold, is because they all play together for Leinster. It did not look like that whatsoever.
Did not. And Leinster are playing way better rugby than that all year as well. I don't understand why it couldn't be brought onto that pitch. Because you're right, they do play together most of the year. Most of that team is the Leinster squad.
Yeah,
they should have had better cohesion than that.
Yeah, but obviously we've been talking a lot about Ireland, and I don't want to. Obviously, that's because you are on here, Tiernan, but I don't want to take away from anything that the All Blacks did. I thought they had a very, very good performance. Like, they didn't just scrape over the line. As I mentioned, I think the scoreline flat as Ireland. New Zealand were crazy good. I think they beat Ireland at literally everything. That's how it felt. Just felt like Ireland came out with a steamer in the first 10 minutes, and then it just dropped off. It was New Zealand. And if New Zealand could have been a bit more clinical, they could have beaten you guys by at least 20 to 25 points even. That felt more realistic watching the game, what it should have been like.
No, our defence was good, in fairness. That's one thing that didn't fall off, was our defence.
Well, I was going to say, Tin, I think you lost to New Zealand because, the same reason we did. New Zealand scored a couple of tries, they got around the defence, but it was more like just our blunt attacks just did absolutely nothing in either game.
That's the thing, we'd get the ball. Our defence was so good, we'd get the ball and then we'd immediately give it back to New Zealand. That's what lost us the game, because our defence was nearly perfect. And that's maybe, we'd get the ball, we'd turn it over. Obviously, they'd celebrate because there's so much complaints that we're over-celebrating or something. And then we give it straight back. That's what.
What's your point of view on that? Because I remember us all talking about how England over-celebrates when we look at Ben Earl and stuff.
Well, it's great. I'm sorry. What's the bad thing about it? You're representing your country. You're in a massively tight game where there's a bit of beef. Of course, there's going to be some celebrations on it. People
there's nothing wrong with celebrating. Yeah. But celebrating everything.
50-22 logo, that was amazing. If anyone else did that and they celebrated, it would have been, they're just passionate, they're just happy they got some. But it's when Ireland do it that everyone just jumps on this, to hate them, because everyone just hates Ireland, and it's true.
That 22-22 that he kicked was ridiculous. Yeah, fair enough. That James Lowe 22-22, that was insane. It was a mess. That was a bomb. Yeah. Anyway, talking about teams that lost. Jake, how are you doing there, friend?
Can I leave now? Are we done? I don't want to do this anymore. We don't have to cover this then. Let's go and order the games. Brazil played Hong Kong. Let's cover that first before we get to England's disaster class.
Jake, I just want to know. I want an honest response. When you were up 15-3, what was the thought process?
I said I've done a vlog which I need to edit. I said I hope we score 16 tries here because that's what we're on for. A try every 5 minutes, and I hope we don't embarrass them too badly.
That's even worse than what Ben Young said, and that guy's been getting a lot of shit.
But he's right to say it. He's right to say it. If you look at the two squads and how they've been performing in the actual player base, and that is an embarrassing performance from England. It's not a delusional to say we should be beating Australia pretty comfortably.
It is delusional. Who else have you beat?
Ireland. It's just like
we keep going back to one drop goal finish.
I'm not coming back to that. It's just like we England are bottlers, but a quality squad but bottling. As I said, Ireland, France, New Zealand, South Africa, lost by less than a score in all the last games we played them. We are that level, just bottling the last 10 minutes. Then to lose to Australia, who none of those teams have lost to, is embarrassing. And at home, in front of 80k, it's dreadful.
Alien Stadium is just not the same as Twickenham.
No.
I mean, we had a fucking player who's never played rugby union at all at professional level, and we lost to him starting the whole game.
No.
Man of the match was absolute bullshit. But
yeah, he shouldn't be man of the match, but he was quality, right? And we spoke about it, and I feel very proud that I've always said this is not as shit of an Australian team as everyone says. I don't think the loss is that embarrassing. on England. Like losing to this Australian team is not that embarrassing in my opinion. The way that you lost it, that is embarrassing.
Well, can I just say that I also said this Australia team is not that bad of a team, but where I compare it to where England should be, it is embarrassing to lose to them. I just think England should be pushing on now. We've been with Steve Borthwick for nearly 2 years. We should be pushing on to aim for like top 3, top 4.
No, you've got this Delulu brain going on at the moment, Jake, where you think that you should be pushing on. You should be beating Scotland first before you try and move on and beat South Africa and beat New Zealand and beat Ireland on a consistent basis. This is the Lulu world where you're living in. You lost to France. You lost to the All Blacks that people are saying struggling 3 times in a row. Like you're getting beat all over the park. You have to calm down. You and Australia, same WhatsApp group. And I'm not even joking. And it's time you realize.
I don't even know what to say. I can't take this. I can't take this.
You know, I'm not a guy for losing jobs, right? But how long do you think Borthwick will still be in a job?
If he fucks up Six Nations, he's gone. If he doesn't get top 3 in Six Nations, he's gone.
Jake,
they're not playing good rugby. With that England squad, they should be smashing Australia by 20 points.
Where's your standards, dude? Where's the standards? What are we even watching?
I have standards, and everyone says, "Why are you so upset that they've lost?" It's like, because I've got standards.
Tiernan, imagine that English team right now without Marcus Smith.
Oh, carrying his. I hope his back's okay. He's going to get back surgery after this.
That's the thing, right? It feels like watching this England team. They are being coached from a book. It's like Felix Jones' job was to write a book and give it to them. He's doing a remote job now. How can you take off George Furbank for George Ford?
I won't have this.
Like George Ford has to come onto the field.
I won't have this. No.
And if he's going to come onto the field and not take the kicking duties, what's his point? What is the point of it?
Hush. Hey, good boy. No, Marcus Smith. I mean, look, come on. Look, he played well.
That was great.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my ears, man. My ears. Oh, no. Oh.
Switch me back. Right. Marcus Smith, look, he played well, but he missed most of his kicks. He still made a few errors, in my opinion. He was the one who missed the last tackle on Jorgensen. He bit in and messed that up. And George Shaw got rightly so, a lot of stick for missing the tackle on Talaire last week. Marcus Smith has got nothing. So I think people need to realise that Marcus Smith, he made some errors in that game as well. George Ford, again, I will stick by this. George Ford has played well for England multiple times in the last year. He's a good player, and I'd be happy if he started or Finn Smith. I don't mind which one of the 3 starts, but saying that Marcus Smith just carried England, he played well for a while, but he wasn't perfect.
I thought in a losing game, he could have easily been man of the match watching that performance. He was sensational. If it wasn't for him, you don't score a try. Like, he was absolutely class, right? And yeah, I agree. He costed you that final try. Len Ikitau, what a game that guy had, by the way. Absolutely sensational. And it was a class try. I mean, the balls to throw that ball out wide and go into the corner. It was a great game of rugby, right? But it's like every time that England takes the lead, foot off the gas. We don't want the ball. We'll just have you take the ball and run it at us. And that is where all the Wallaby confidence came from. Tom Wright probably had about 700 running meters.
I think the big problem in England really is just like we're just absolutely shy to tackling. I think it's something that stems from just absolute grassroots and being 8 years old, because the amount of times they just ran through us, and it's just gone back for years. It's like, remember the Duran van der Merwe's try against us like 18 months ago, nearly 2 years ago. He just went through past 6 of them. And it's a real tackling issue in English rugby, which no one really brings up, and it's a worry. But yeah, it's just annoying. I think lots of English players didn't really stand up. I mean, the props did well, but then they just weren't as physical as we should be. And I've never seen Tom Curry get bounced so badly by Angus Bell, who had a phenomenal game, and then Valentini, less than a minute, knocks him out. So that's crazy. And Ben Earl was quiet. It was a weird game. Australia deserved to win, but we should be. I don't want
to laugh at a guy getting knocked out, right? But that gave me vibes of like a boxer doing like the chicken dance, going into the corner. The ref gives him the standing count, and he comes back and bang, one shot. It's just like a double whammy. It was craziness.
I've never seen Tom Curry get bounced at all, and he got just done twice in 1 minute. I was like, what has happened? He's our best tackler.
We're only laughing because we know he's fine. We're only laughing because we know he's fine. Tiernan, for England, where do you go next? Like, what is the expectation even for, let's say, the game against South Africa?
I can't see why they win it. There's no way they win that game. Like, come on, you're trying to match the physicality of South Africa as well as they're probably going to play their full team. So you got the back line to worry about, like Colby ripping you apart, Arnza. You just have no chance. There's nothing England can do at the moment that's going to even come within 10 points South Africa.
I will bet you £50 right now, Tiernan. Yeah, we might lose, but we will lose within a score.
No, don't be crazy.
Oh, well, no. Too pretty.
I said it about Scotland. I don't know where you get the upper hand against South Africa. Your blitz defense is the inside of an asshole. It is terrible. The way that you miss tackles and just slip off, because it's not that you just miss tackles, it's that you try and make desperate defending efforts every now and again. Like, it is crazy. Your defense is all over the place. It's like you don't commit to anything. Like, you don't commit to the blitz and you don't commit to being stable. I don't even know. Like,
we're committing to the blitz. It's just we're not connected, and there's still some holes in the middle. And I just think some people are just not quite, I don't know, alert enough. Like, you see all the Springbok players, especially like Dialende and the Creel, and they're so agile. And then I feel like some England players aren't quite on that level. But yeah, I don't know. It's a worry. But there's definitely areas we can get out of the box.
Sorry, what's the final sentence?
I think there is areas we can have a go at the box. I mean, we could do what we did to you last year and just make it absolute aerial bombardment, contesting, and try and be physical.
It's not gonna be the same because you don't have all that rainy, shitty weather to deal with now. Is it gonna be raining on Saturday?
It wasn't raining in the semi-final and last year.
Yeah, it was storming down. That's why they took off Marnie, because he couldn't catch a ball.
Oh, I can't remember
from his own part.
Well, it could be raining. I don't know. It's England. It probably will be. It's November.
Yeah. Casual, who do you play at 10?
I'd go Marnie.
I'd go Marnie.
I think I might play George Ford.
We'll talk about South Africa in a sec. I just want to put some praise on Australia, right? Because as I just said to Jake, it's not, for me, it's not that embarrassing of a defeat. It's obviously great. We all want to see a rugby. We want to see our teams performing to the top level so that we can see who's really the best. You want to see competitive games, not foregone conclusions. This was game of the year for me, and I don't think you can possibly top it. Like, this was an absolutely sensational game. Couple of standout guys for the Wallabies. Angus Bell, sensational. Who was Nick Frost's lock partner? I keep on forgetting the name.
Jeremy Williams.
Yeah, he was good, really good.
And then they brought on Solokai Lotto. Should have got yellow carded, maybe even red for that challenge on Slight Home, but I'll let it go.
Calm down.
Ridiculous.
How good was Rob Valentini? Bro. Fraser McWright, first to every single kick. Tate McDermott, instant impact. Len Ikitau. And then Suali'i, as you mentioned, plays his first game ever. Gets up as high as Maro Torja, who's lifted into the air to compete that ball out of the air. And Tom Wright. Dude, sensational. All of those guys.
There's so many standout players in that Australia team. And that back row of Valentini, McWright and Wilson is a class back row. Like, it competes amongst the best in the world. And it's a shame Wilson's out. But yeah, Bell was awesome. Like, he's got to be the best prop at carrying the ball in the world. He's sick. But Tom Wright, left at home by Eddie Jones last World Cup.
Can't believe it.
Ridiculous.
The amount of players that Eddie Jones left out is crazy. Tiernan, sorry, you wanted to say something.
Do you think this is because of Schmidt? Like, do you think Eddie Jones is fully responsible for the downfall of Australia and Schmidt's just kind of picking up the pieces, realising the amount of talent they actually have in that squad and just capitalising off and out winning games? I think Australia's back.
The fact that they played Ben Donaldson at fullback over Tom Wright is crazy. At fullback over Tom Wright and Andrew Kellaway is crazy to me. Like, I don't think Ben Donaldson is terrible. He doesn't play fullback. How can you play him at fullback over Tom Wright and Kellaway? Those two are standout players. It is crazy to me. And they still have to add Hunter Paisami and Samu Kurevi to this. That centre combination is going to be a battle out. Daugunu still has to come back. I mean, they're going to build.
I mean, they also lost Parisi to Leicester, and then obviously
Kelton has to join.
I think Corey Toole should be in this squad as well. He's been electric for the Brumbies all year.
Exactly. And the thing is now, you're thinking, okay, well, Wilson is out. Do you know who really impressed me in the Rugby Championship? Carlo Tizano. He was just as good. So they'll just replace him.
They've got Seru Uru, who's been a class player for the Reds all year, and Tom Hooper was in the World Cup and played well. So they've got options. I think Tom Hooper's all right. But what I was going to say, look, if I take off this shirt, you'll see a very flabby chest. But if I take off this shirt and just think from a neutral perspective here, like, this is like a fantastic result for Australian rugby. Like, they really needed this. Like, England are probably their biggest rival. Like, they don't really, All Blacks, they get beat so much. They hate England. You've got a league guy playing their first game, so they're going to get lots of new viewers just to watch this one game and see how he goes. They watched probably the best Australia game in like 5 years. And obviously they won, and we've got a Lions still coming up. It's fantastic for Australian rugby at least, and I can be happy about that at least.
The amount of confidence they will take for that Lions tour, that will be sexy. All of a sudden, it looks so much better.
They might get within 30, yeah.
Nah, come on.
No, it's not. The Irish start to come back to back us up.
We'll talk about the Lions in a bit, because I actually had a discussion of like how much players outside of Irish players actually get into that Lions setup. That will be an interesting discussion, but we'll obviously talk about that when time comes. Anyway, let's move on to the Springboks. Tiernan, we'll come straight to you. What was your overall thoughts on that game? On the number one team in the world, defending world champions, playing against Scotland.
They're actually number 2 in that game. But yeah, no, ignore my TikTok rage rate videos. That's just coming back at all the Springbok fans that comment on my stuff after New Zealand. But yeah, it was a boring game. I think Scotland were hard done by the scoreline. They stayed in the game up until the very end. And they did look like winning at a lot of points. It's South Africa. They weren't. I know it was kind of, your B team, and then your fraud squad came on and did nothing as well. But it's just it wasn't a number one in the world performance by any means.
He says he rage baits on TikTok, and then he just says this bomb fluff that he's just the fraud squad.
I've named one time that the bomb squad's done anything except that New Zealand game before the World Cup. They've never done anything since. Ireland diffused that yoke in the World Cup.
Well, Scotland were pretty.
You can't name one game where they came on and made the same impact they did in that New Zealand game.
Scotland were pretty.
Our game in the semi-final. RG Sneyman and Oxenshade
against Scotland, we was pretty close in the group stages. I mean, the halftime score was what, like literally like 6-3. They came on and we just smoked them. I mean, that is your best example. This face right here. Look at that jersey he's wearing in the semi-final. That's your ultimate. That's the ultimate thing, right? The bomb squad is the bomb squad. Okay, I also think the bomb squad is like this overhyped thing because everyone else can do it. Like, why is ours called the bomb squad? What? Because we're replacing 3 forwards with 3 other forwards, like, or 6-2
I really
split.
think if South Africa did a 5-3, they'd be way better. They have this thing because they have such depth. They can pretty much put out any team and they'd still be fairly competitive. And they kind of brainwash themselves, think, if we put 7 forwards on the bench, but every single time,
I hate the 7-1 split.
Your backline's gone.
I hate the 7-1 split. The 7-1 split is bullshit because the reason for it is you saw it yesterday. Like the people, the guys that are playing, it just feels like they're being almost lazy. It's almost like, okay, we know there's good replacements, so we can just play our game on whatever, instead of just like saying 40 minutes of everything. Like it's just lackluster. It just feels like it's a bit lackluster, the guys that do it. I never want to see the 7-1 again. I absolutely hated it. So many guys, poor performances. Marco van Staden, poor. Kwagga Smith, starting once again, piss poor. Jaden Hendricks,
everyone's talking about Frawley and Crowley dropping balls. Jaden Hendricks, he wasn't even
behind his own ruck.
It's just you just pick it up and drop it. That was probably the biggest world-class stinker the whole weekend was Jaden Hendricks.
It was absolutely crazy. But as you mentioned, it was kind of like a BT. You know what was like a laughing thing? People are like, "Oh, look at this nuke squad that the Boks have. This must be the best bench to ever play." Well, it's
did nothing. It did nothing.
Starters. It is our starters that we put on the bench. So obviously, it's gonna be the strongest bench you've ever seen. Like, come on, seriously.
In a starting game, do you start Archie Snyman? Because that guy has been scintillating at Leinster, and to stand
he was
out
great when he came on as well, eh?
Yeah, like he should be like way with this having our best players on the bench. No, start the guy.
It's the work that Mostert gets through though, and obviously everyone's
it's good work rate. But if you just look at the carries and the offloads Archie Snyman can do, I don't get how you're not starting him.
Mostert just came back from injury, right? So, obviously you can't judge how good he is on yesterday's performance, but Mostert is world class. He is really a scintillating lock. Like the work that he gets done on the field. He gets those tired bodies going. The partnership between him and Pieter-Steph du Toit, that's just like all over the pitch. That is what we strive for. They are insane. Yeah. That is why Ruan Orkia fit in so nicely, because he's kind of like a like-for-like replacement with Franco Mostert. And then you have Archie Snyman that can create the opportunities when we run at those tired bodies with his offloads, with his hard carries, those type of things. That's where Archie thrives for us. But I wouldn't be opposed to him starting at all.
Yeah.
Like the guy He's insane at the moment. He's literally the face of Leinster rugby.
I wouldn't say the face now, but he's gone. He's decent. We'll see how he does in European rugby now. That'll be his test.
But yeah, obviously, the fact that we played so shit, right? Because I need to take some positives. The fact that we played so shit and still managed to beat Scotland, who will be pretty happy with their performance, by 17 points and 4 tries to nothing. I'll be happy with the victory. Jake?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Scotland played well that first half. I mean, they obviously had that late try disallowed as well. Yeah, I mean, they played well for themselves. I said it'd be pretty close, sort of halfway in, 50 minutes in. Yeah, but I just thought the South Africans just always said they had too much quality, and I never thought Scotland were really going to win it. They bottle it in their DNA. So yeah, I don't know.
I hate Scotland because Scotland
always English fans call someone bottlers is crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
An Irish fans call English fan a bottler is crazy. That's what.
So how many games you bottled this year, Jake? About 5.
We've won other stuff.
We beat Ireland, guys. I can't wait to hear that one in like 8 years' time. Well, we beat Ireland that time, and
listen,
but we beat South Africa in the group stage. Yeah.
Oh, we beat South Africa at home. We won a game on our tour this year.
What trophy?
What trophy? Six Nations trophy.
Oh, we got the loads then.
Yes,
okay. Anyway,
we can have a mid all in.
As you know, you guys are on a Safa channel, and therefore we do talk about refs. We talk about worldy stinkers from some of the players when we talk about Frawley and Jaden Hendricks and Fraud Russell, George Fraud. I don't even know what the ref's name is in the Scotland game, but have you ever seen a softer yellow given? Right?
I think he's quite good.
It was red. It was a red.
Wait, whoa. Have you ever seen a softer yellow given, right, to a player? He gets sent off to the bin, spends like 7 minutes there, they come back, they say it's a red card. And I'm just like, what on earth? This is a blatant robbery to this guy. And then it's the wrong player as well. Then, after that, I don't know, they probably felt bad for that because Andre Pollard gets absolutely thumped. Like he gets bumped first by Shisoni Tuipolatu. He gets back up, he gets into the tackle, whatever, but then he gets smoked from the side, right? Face first, bang.
Okay, let's get this all right. Let's get this all right. The rest Christoph Ridley, but all of that is the TMO. What you're having a problem with the TMO not spotting
the part of the ref, so I can say
it's not the one ref, but yeah, it's the refs sort of the team. But they both did actually land on Cummings. I think it was Rory Darge did land on. I think was it Mostert's legs, so they could have both got yellow card really.
But it was way more Rory Darge than Cummins.
It was Rory Darge more, but they did both land on leg. But it should have been Rory Darge, yeah. But I think they should be red cards. That was a soft one. But I do think croc rolls should be red cards because you'll see.
Croc rolls. If you look that back, it could be nasty.
Bongi and Benambi got like out for months with it. Jack Willis was out for ages. It's pretty much ended his England career at the time. It ruined all his momentum. So like, I do think those should be red cards, but that was quite a light one.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that wasn't even a croc roll for me. Like, you can blow it as a croc roll, but it was like he missed his shot. He kind of just fell over.
He missed his croc roll, so he didn't complete it.
Yeah,
he did try. It's a yellow. It's a yellow for me.
Yeah, it is a yellow, but red
maybe. But it's still never a red. He didn't even come close to falling on his leg. Like, seriously. But then Andre Pollard's one, crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't even look at it.
I saw that at the time.
I don't know.
Like, that's got to be a yellow.
At least. And then I saw Frosty sent it today on the group, and I was just like, well, he smashed his face there. Like, seriously. And then the other one, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Mapimpi's try, they didn't slow down. They should have gone up to look at it. But it looked like when Mapimpi scored, his hand was in touch. I'll take it. But it looked a bit sketch. I'm not going to lie. Is there anything that we want to add on the Springboks game against Scotland?
Not really. Like they really should go get the win next week.
I mean, I still not be able to finish the end of the game because I was going to do a TikTok live and then my car broke down. And I was stuck on the side of a motorway for 4 hours, so I did not watch that game live. So I was not in a good mood. I just want to let you all know.
You sound like you wanted to die.
I did.
Yeah, I will be a full Springbok supporter this week. Actually, forgot to mention just for this week. So I reckon.
Fair enough.
I'll be accepted for the next.
Look, he's going to change his whole content and stop the Springbok rage bait for his love and obsession, hate and obsession of England. Like that's how much we're living rent free, you little Irish heads.
It's not about the rugby, though. That's the thing. You'll never be about the rugby. You're just not good enough.
Okay. Anyway, I was very excited for this game. It started off pretty well. Very, very good first half. But then Argentina just kind of ran away with it. 50 points over Italy. Italy just not clinical enough. We don't need to go into too much depth about it. And if you're not clinical against Argentina, then what's the point even? Because they don't defend. They just score points. Does anyone have anything to add to that?
I'm pretty relieved because it means we're definitely going to win now. Since they won their last game, like they only win one every 2 games.
You can put up the all-time stinker performance like you did against.
We can have 10 times the stinker we had. They're still going to just does that. Forget to play rugby.
Well, I came to watch this game late because I was in the toilet at Twickenham filming a review. But I got to that half an hour.
Situations. I mean, just say you weren't able to watch the game. Like.
I got to half an hour in and I saw the replays of the tries. And it looks like Argentina's like first tries in the first half were like sort of unlucky sort of breakaway tries. And then Italy got robbed of a try right at the end of the first half. Spaniolo, the prop, goes over and I disallow it for bullshit. And he's in my fantasy team, so I was like, fuck's sake. But then, second half, Argentina just looked too good, didn't they? But it looked like a good atmosphere at the game. And it was entertaining, so I liked that.
Yeah, no, it was end-to-end rugby. This was literally the epitome of end-to-end rugby. There was hardly any kicks, and if it was a kick, it didn't go out. And it was a draining game to even watch. That's how good it was. Like I was tired.
You know what? I was watching it in like a big screen at Twickenham, and like it felt like a football game though. Just like the whole crowd and the atmosphere and the way I don't know, and the way it flowed, it felt like a football game. And, it was a good,
very open game, extremely open. The Devil played Japan. They beat them 52-12
in front of an empty stadium.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that game. We are boycotting this team. Then, obviously, the final game that we can talk about, Wales, 10 defeats in a row. I mean, how long do you have to go back in years for 10 defeats back for Ireland or 10 defeats back for England? That's a good few years, probably. They've done it in like a year.
I'm now going to get my Wallaby shirt on and be roaring them on, and then South Africa, and hope that Wales got a whole calendar year without winning a game.
It's going to happen as well. They're not beating either of them. They're going to go full. This team won a Grand Slam in what? 21? 22 even? Like, what happened? What's happened?
10 defeats back might be 2021. Not really.
For most, for us too anyway. Maybe Jake was a bit more recent than that, but like, that's a whole year. They've lost 10 games in 1 year. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Jake, how many defeats are you on now? It's also up there because you've been playing a lot
Scotland,
of rugby.
France, New Zealand twice, New Zealand the third time, and Australia 6.
So that's 6 in a row.
We've done 3 now.
Not in a row.
England,
We
South
played
Africa.
Japan.
Are we going to count that
Africa,
Japan friendly, really?
Well, we also played Ireland and beat them. So, yeah. 5 in a row.
Okay, wait. So you beat France, okay, and then it was Japan after that, right?
No, we lost to France, then beat Japan, and then 3 New Zealand, Australia.
Okay. And if you add South Africa after that one, it's not looking
good. And then we've got
good.
Japan again, though, so then we're going to win.
And that will save Borthwick's job because it's like, look, I beat Eddie Jones. So
yeah,
it's
and
like,
click this when we lose to Japan.
And Eddie Jones just walks up. Eddie Jones doing the cold palmer.
Yeah. Too easy, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, well done to Fiji, right? I thought Wales have got it. I thought Wales finally going to do it. They've got the good loosies and everything. They had the good lead, and then they just bottled it. And in the end, right? Let's ask you guys this. What's your opinion on the 20-minute red card? Because we saw it this weekend.
They are kind of right that it does ruin a game when you put a red card in. They said something there that there've been 2 Premiership games, one of all time, with a red card. So it completely.
I think they mean this season,
that makes a bit more sense. But it ruins test on test match level. It ruins the game. I did like the fact that Scotland were able to bring on another player. So while I do think it's going to slowly encourage a bit more kind of dangerous foul play, at the same time, it does make the game a lot more interesting.
I just say, I was a big fan of it, and I watched it in Super Rugby, and I liked it. But I think already, I heard someone say this another week, so it wasn't like my idea, but I've noticed it. We've had 2 20-minute red cards this weekend alone. Is it because it's like a middle ground that's going to give more of these 20-minute red cards? If there was just a yellow and a red, I think they'd both be yellows.
Well, I don't think it encourages dangerous play. You look at the 2 red cards, it is accidents. Those aren't sloppiness or anything. Rory, the Cummins one, that's never a red. Okay, let's be honest. That's not a red. And Samir Rajendra timing wrong, right? I love I don't think this thing is like it increases the likelihood of more red cards or anything because the guy still gets punished. That guy doesn't get back onto the field. The team still gets punished for 20 more minutes, right? But we can't sit here and say, oh, okay, well, we want this full red card and then blame a game of rugby being decided, oh, well, there was a red card or anything like that. So they're trying to find a middle ground with it. I love the fact that guy doesn't get back on, but you're not punishing the whole team because we want to talk about a team sport, then you can't judge it on an individual error.
I really like the idea, and I think it worked really well in Super Rugby, but I'm just worried that, the whole thing is great in the concept. It's just, are they going to lower the threshold for what a red is because the punishment's less? We might see more of these 20-minute reds than if it was just yellow and red. They might lower it to yellow, and now you're just sending people off more easily.
It's crazy that this was all butterfly effect of Sam Cane running into your man's head.
They were trialing it the year before in Super Rugby.
I think it came in though because New Zealand were complaining about it so much. I do like it though. It does definitely make red card games more exciting.
A better example is the better example is the Premiership final because Beno Obano got a red card and that's a prop, and because it was a prop, they'd also send off Alfie Barbary. It was kind of unfair on him because it was Obano's high tackle. So this will at least stop that. It'll stop ruining other players if you use a key prop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. We'll wrap it up there. Tiernan, Jake, thanks for coming on. People, please go to this is their social media names as well. So go on to TikTok, Instagram, or whatever. Go follow them there.
So I'm going to try and put up a painful England-Australia vlog in the next day or two. If you want to see my live frustration and agony, just let you know that jewel is out there somewhere.
Fair enough. So please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate you guys. And we'll we will most definitely do another video. You guys love the fan forum that we run here of a preview for this weekend leading up into week 2 of the Autumn Nation series. So have a good one, everyone. Enjoy your evening. And yeah, we'll see you again. Thank you.